Good evening, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. All right, so I think let's get into business. Welcome, everyone, and I know that it's a quiet day today, and I'm really excited to welcome all of you for this webinar series, EalSuite Evolution webinar series. I hope that my screen is visible for everyone, and I'm properly audible for everyone, and everything is good with my video as well. So if you can give me a confirmation of that in the chat, then we'll get up and running. Thank you very much, Satyajit. Yes. Okay. So like always, you can see a lot of options in your interface. You have the chat option. You can utilize it to chat with me. You can utilize the Q&A section to ask me questions, queries, anything regarding the updates that we will be speaking about today. And you can use the raise hand option. You can use the react option if you want to showcase something or if you want to bring something into my attention. And as always, at the very end, if you're having further doubts, then I will be unmuting all of you and we will be having a live conversation on that. So this is the way it is going to go. And then to be precise, we will be speaking about our releases of this week and EalSuite Evolution. So as you can see in my screen, customizable employee views, universal record updates, then further about the refreshed bill interfaces, so and so. And we will be explicitly concentrating a lot on the HR side of things for this meeting or in this webinar. So I think everything from my side is clear. And if there is anything more that we should be discussing before we get started with the webinar, please do that. Hi, Vinayak. Divya is here. We can get started. Yeah, right. Yes, we will get started. Okay, so EalSuite Evolution, customizable employee views, universal record, update button, and more. So we will be speaking about a lot of features, the way in which it has been brought in, the way some of the features are spread up all throughout the software. So I hope that everybody is ready. Let's get started. So as always, we'll be getting started from our release note. Yes. So we'll be speaking about the releases on 4th of May 2024. And we have two feature updates, two enhancements, and two resolved issues. So what's the first feature update? Customizable employee views. Elevate your HR management by customizing the employee view page to meet organization needs and ensuring that everyone has the information they need at their fingertip. So this is kind of a customization available under the employees view section. All right, we will be looking into that. We dealt with the way in which we can customize the forms by which we can create the employees last time around. Now we will be speaking about the employee view section. Universal record update button. So uh, I'm sure that whoever was, really keen on watching this webinar through our YouTube videos or live webinars, you would have already seen how we brought in the record update button, right? So record update button was another customizable feature for the clients for the customers. You can customize it from your end itself. There was a small limitation that last time around that it was applicable for only two bills. First one was for invoice and the other one was for sales order. Right now we have made it universal. You can further streamline your billing process with a newly introduced record update button, now available across all bill types for quicker modification and updates. Next one will be the enhancement part. So refreshed interface on bill views. So this is also the way in which we have spread the buttons that we will be using, the user-friendly buttons that we will be using, and we have spread it across all the bills so that we have designed it in an interactive way, and this will simplify your operations. Next one, streamlined payment assignments. So now you can set default payment methods for each bank accounts. So when you go to the banking section and when you edit your existing bank accounts and set your payment method, then this will automatically be getting fetched while you're making some kind of a payment, with that bank account. This can make your transaction process much smoother, and it reduces your manual, entry errors. Now, speaking about the resolved issues, we have two resolved issues. One related to the custom field date flexibility. So where we have fixed the issue where the custom field dates are incorrectly restricted by the migration date. Now the dates in custom field can be set freely without any kinds of constraints, and you can improve your data accuracy and usability in that sense. The next one was item group loading in models. So we have resolved another problem where empty item groups were not at all appearing in the add product or service model in builds. So all item groups will now load correctly, even if we have not added any kind of items or inventory against that particular item group. So these are the feature updates, enhancements, and resolve issues that we will be speaking about. I hope that everybody has settled in quite nicely for this webinar. Let's get started. Yes. So we can move on. We can move on to our first update. Just a second. Yes. Tailor the employee or employee's view from your need. So right now we have introduced a provision for the users to personalize your layout when it comes to employee views. That is, you can customize the employee view page to display the data that matters the most for your organization. So you can rearrange those fields, right? You can play with custom columns. So if you have any custom fields associated with employee views and you want that data to be on top, that can be achieved with this particular feature update, right? So easy access to information when you open that page, and this can streamline your workflow as well. So we will be concentrating on that part right now. So let's see. So let's first of all speak about the HRM module under employees. So we have a bunch of employees here. Okay, any particular employee that I should choose, not anything like that. We can go to this employees view page, right? So you can see Aishwarya as the employee that I've chosen. In a default manner, you can see the account summary and snapshot, right? We have the edit option here, the summary, the document, attachment section, the reminders, and everything. So the customization is right now possible in this particular section, right? The header section, I can say, the account summary section and the snapshot section. So here we have personal information, work, then account core details. And right now under account summary, we have ID, phone number, official email, employee type, and job title, which comes like this. And under snapshot, we have created by, date of joining, created at, and status. So we can edit this, and this page pops up. So under account summary, you can see such kind of details, and all the rest of the columns will be present on the left side of this pop-up. Now, if I want to remove the entire group or individual fields from that left side of your view, it's possible, right? Because I can delete all of this. And all I need is name, then their official email, and let's say I want their date of joining, then their department and designation. This is what I need to see when I open up an employee page. This is the requirement, right? And I can click on submit. No, let me just add one more validation here. I just want to know the employee type. I can add 6 out here. Anything more than that, like there's a field limit reach. So under account summary, you need to understand that we have a limit of 6 fields, nothing more than that, right? And I can click on submit. This gets updated like this. Now we can see account summary. I need a different name to that. So I can edit it. I can completely delete it. I can add a new group. So I can write like basic information. This is the name I'm going to provide to that field, where I need to have the name, official email, then I need department, designation, job title, and status. We can click and submit. So we have basic information, right? Name, official, email address, department, designation, job title, and then we have status. Similarly, the same thing works out under snapshot also. So created by and everything. So I don't want status to be here right now. Created by, who created it. I don't really care who created it. Maybe the personal email ID and the phone number will be working fine for me, right? So I can simply click on submit, and the snapshot area is also changed. So if you want to change the snapshot name, that's possible because that's a group name, right? So the group name can be changed, the group can be customized in any possible way that matters for the organization rather than what the software by default provides. So this is the angle in which we are working out on the employee section. So remember last time we worked on the form page. So when you're creating an employee, what all details should be visible there. So that was really important, right? So we worked it out. We worked on the different groups that we can create. And right now we are working on the basic information and on the snapshot side of things. So I hope that this is, clear for everyone. If there is any doubts, you can just ask me now. Any doubts? Okay, Vinayak has a doubt. Can we do the same with customers, employees? No, we have just introduced this under the employee sections. We will not be able to apply this under the customers or the suppliers or any other kind of creation pages. No, no. Creation pages or, I mean, in this case, the view pages, no, we won't be able to. This is only applicable for employees right now. What about personal information? What about personal? I think this personal information, no. Rearranging this personal information. I mean, the way in which this gets worked out is the way in which by the form in which you create this, right? The way in which, with the help of a form, when you're creating this, you can customize the form, and that gets reflected here. So that's a speciality. So I hope it's clear. And my question is, can we move on? Great, thank you. Okay, so that was done. Next. So that was all about tailoring the employee view to your needs. Next update. Streamlined billing with universal record updates. Now, the first question is, where do we use universal record update button? There are situations in which you want to make edits to your bills, right? But the edit, I mean, you don't necessarily need to go into the edit page and make a lot of edits. You only have to make a small edit, like a status update, right? That's just an example. A small edit to just a single field. And the question is that for a full administrator, for an administrator, the question is like, should I give an edit option to somebody to just make the small change? Or the decision has been made by the company that we won't be giving edit option to a particular user or a set of users who will be coming under a particular role. In such kind of situations, we can create record update buttons where you can simply update a single field. And for that button alone, we can provide permissions for roles. And that's the way in which the universal record update button works. So identifying the change is very easy because it gets reflected on top of the bills. You can spot it very easily. And if you only want to make a very small change in a very quick manner, it can be changed. So like I said, universal record update button was only present with respect to invoices and sales orders, right? We have spread it all along the software. That's what we will be speaking about. So this is the first branch. And in order to show you this, we'll be switching into the second branch, right? Yes. So let's get started. We'll create a new custom field in this branch. And we have notes and delivery status already against invoices. So we can create a new field under invoice itself called project status. Yes. So we'll keep it in a drop-down manner where the statuses will be pending, initiated, on hold, and completed. Okay, so let's take a situation. Under invoice, we obviously know that we can associate an invoice to a project. But imagine an invoice is associated with the project, and somebody, making that change in invoice want to, change the status of the project based on what gets reflected in the project section, right? So that you can use a smart views, and people who need to understand which all invoices are pending against any kind of projects, or projects are pending against any kind of invoices, such kind of details can be obtained. Okay, so the default value will be pending and include in all forms, and let's click on submit and done. So we have project status. We'll be going to the template builder, and under invoices, the custom field preferences, let's update it. So project status is also added, and customer note, multiple branches, then delivery status notes and everything. I'm not going to put it there. I'm just going to put project status, and let me just save it. Okay, done. Okay. So we'll return back. So we created a custom field. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create an invoice in this particular branch. And yeah, the delivery status, the project status will be staying as pending. We're not going to do anything else there. We're going to select a few items. Let's give the price and project. Yes, done. This is a cost. Let's save it. Okay, a negative stock validation from GoPickle. We'll remove it. Let's save it. Okay. So right now, we have such kind of an invoice here, right? Now, what does a record update button do? This is a standard way in which an invoice will be created. Now, what does a record update button do? When you go to the record update button and under invoices, we can create a new record update button, right? The record update button will be having the name project status, and this will be assigned to a full administrator. And let's say SPA is a role. Somebody who's under SPA also will be having access to this. So what is the description comes under? Description will be like to update the status of projects associated with this invoice. All right, let me select project status, submit. Right now, what happens? When we reload it, we can see a project status button here. Now imagine, now this is a full administrator view, right? Imagine I'm somebody who has a role of SPA, whatever the role is, it doesn't matter. I'm somebody who comes under the role of SPA. And I'm provided with a permission to update the status of the projects. So right now the project is in a pending state, right? And at the time in which the project gets started, I need to change it. So rather than going to the edit page and changing it into initiated, right, where I don't have access to the edit page, the SPA role, I comes under the SPA role, the department, and I don't have access to edit this invoice. What can I do? I can utilize the project status page, and this is in a drop-down manner. I can click on initiated, I can click on submit, and voila, record updated successfully. So you can see that the project status is in an initiated manner. And when the project is completed, I can come here, I can click on submit, the project is in a completed manner. So this is what we can achieve with the record update button. But this was already bought in like a month or so before. I mean, I think 2 months before. So what we have done is we have spread this. Initially, the record update button was only present under invoices, right? And then sales orders. So right now, I think sales order is not enabled here. Yes, sales order is not enabled. So let me just go to settings, and we will enable all the other bills also. So quotation, sales orders, delivery note, pro forma, then packing slip, everything. So let me click on save, and we'll go again to the purchase preferences. Everything has been enabled. Yes. Now let's return back to the record update button, and let me just show it to you. Yes. Right now, for invoices, retail invoices, quotation, sales orders. So initially it was just invoices and sales orders. Right now we have spread it into all of these bills. That is again. So is there any doubts that anyone was having regarding record update button? You can ask me now. How much record update buttons can we create? Is the restriction of 2 taken out? Okay, that's a very good question. So I forgot to tell you that as of now, you can only create 2 record update buttons against a single bill. Nothing more than that. Right now, I created project status. Similar way, if I create something like a delivery status, then I won't be able to create anything more than project or delivery status against invoice. That's it. We don't provide restrictions for the number of record update buttons you can create. We provide restrictions for the number of record update buttons you can create under a specific bill. That is restricted to 2 right now. I think it's time to move on, right? All right. So we'll be moving into our first enhancement right now. Refreshed bill views. So what has been refreshed here? This is a very small enhancement, I would say. I mean, specifically speaking for this particular week, it's a very small enhancement because if you go to every bills, like invoices, branch, invoice section, and if you open this, you can see the credit note, packing slip, reminders, right? If I go to edit page and everything, all the buttons have been changed. All the buttons has been changed in all the views. All the buttons has been changed for all the bills under purchase, sales and everywhere. The buttons has a consistency right now. All the button has been changed to this particular format. So we were spreading this all along. Right now, the whole process is completed. Next, we'll be concentrating on other pages like on the saving page, on the creation page, so and so. All right. So there's a very small enhancement to be speaking like this in this particular week, but this was a consistent process and we have achieved it right now. Okay. I'm sure that you won't be having any doubts on that. Next. Streamlined payment assignments. So right now we can set default payment methods for each bank accounts. So this can make your transaction process much smoother, and you can reduce the errors also because it works in an automated manner, right? So improved cash flow. So let's work it out. Okay. So talking about the banking section, we need to go to this accounting module, and under banking, okay, we have a bunch of bank accounts. So I'm going to edit 3 of these bank accounts and I'm going to add the default payment method. So for HDFC, I'll be keeping it as check, and then for Axis Bank, I'll be keeping it as credit card, and for Jain Bank, I'll be keeping it as electronic transfer. Submit. Now, what can we do? We will be going into the transaction section. We'll be creating a new expense, let's say. So petty cash account. If I click on HDFC Bank, the method will be automatically getting changed into check. Yes. See, and for Axis Bank, it will be changing into credit card, and for Jain Bank, electronic transfer. So at a situation in which you want to create something in a quick manner, and we do know that, okay, 17th, I'm going to do it in Axis Bank, and everything with electricity has been done, and let me create an expense like this. And next time you can provide the narration also. April. And you don't have to come here to the methods and you want to change it, because you know that if you're making some kind of an expense, made some kind of a payment from the Axis Bank, it will definitely be through a credit card, Axis Bank's credit card. So in such a way, you can create it easily. So it saves time. That is a way the new update has been brought in. If you're creating a new account also, this will be getting shown, the default payment method. Okay, so is there any doubts regarding this particular update? No, I guess. So we can move on to the bugs that we have fixed. Custom field date flexibility. So this was a very interesting issue that we saw. Unrestricted dates. You know that when we create custom fields, it was having some kind of a relationship between the migration date we were setting. And can anyone tell me what that relationship was. The relationship between the custom fields, which was created under the type, the custom field type, which was coming under date, and the migration date. Can anyone tell me the relationship? Okay, have an answer. We cannot set the date before the migration date. Exactly, that was the thing. So let me just present you a situation. Imagine you are creating a custom field against the customer, and this is a very specific, company specific requirement. Then you need to add the date of birth of the customer, right? And your migration date is something like uh, 01/04/2020, and the customer's date of birth will be on 1st of June 1980. And if you're trying to create a custom field, let me just show it to you like this. Under the employee, okay, under the customer section itself, we'll create a custom field under customers date of birth, right? Text box, we can create the field type as date and we'll click on submit. So the next time when you're creating your customer, there will be a custom field asking like date of birth. Now we'll just return back to head branch and we'll look at the opening balance. The date is 01/04/2023 for migration date, right? So not a date shouldn't be added here before that one. So I'm creating a new customer called Palaya, and this is a consumer. The date of birth, right? So is this possible in a normal way? This was not possible at a time when which we found out the bug. We were not able to create it because it was going just before the migration date. So that was the issue. Right now if I click on save, this will get successfully saved because we have resolved the issue. So funny issue, I would say. Yeah, so that was the thing. That was all about the custom field date flexibility. Now finally we will be moving into item group loading in our models. So there was a small limitation that when we were speaking about empty item groups, which was not appearing in the ad or product service model. So this was restricting our access in some kind of a way. So we have resolved this issue. So let me show it to you like this. We'll go to the item group section and we'll create a new item group. Miscellaneous items. Click on save. At least one item should be present. So we have provided some kind of validation right now. Save, right? Now I think we won't be able to show. I won't be able to show this kind of a deal right now because after this bug was fixed, we have created a validation that at least one item should be present. Okay, so imagine there was an item group in which there were no items and you're creating an invoice. So in such a situation, when you're going to add product and miscellaneous items, when you're choosing this, the page was not getting reloaded. I mean, when it was like this and you're selecting an item group, let's say that under miscellaneous items there were not items, then when you click on this, the page was not getting loading into this particular interface, right? So that was the error and we have fixed it. And along with that, we have also introduced the case that when you speak about item groups, you won't be able to create an item group without a single item in it. Earlier, this was possible. Right now, we have added another step, a layer to provide a validation such that such kind of an item group will not be created. So that's the way in which that particular issue was resolved. So I hope that it's clear for everyone. So that was a final issue. Next, we will be moving into the Q&A section. So you can ask me, you can shoot me your doubts right now. And this is really important. Now is the time for you guys to speak. So if you're having any kind of, doubts regarding any of the updates that we had, especially regarding the record update button or the way in which you can edit or customize your, employee view page, that will be great. Anything from your side? Okay, I think I can see a doubt from Mr. Smith. Okay, why did you go to the template builder while adding the record update button? Okay, so let me just speak about an enhancement which we bought in last time around. It was called Advanced Template Builder. You can go to a specific date of like 4th of April 2024 and you can check it out. So the thing was that when we were creating a new custom field, there was an option to show that whether this should be present in your PDF output or not, right? In your in the third party view, when you're taking a PDF output, where should this custom field be present or not? That was a question. So if you have enabled the checkbox, and you clicked on submit, then every time when you take up, if you have added data into it and when you're taken the PDF output of it, every time it will be directly getting reflected in your PDF output. But that was changed in our previous update. We had to go to a template builder, then select the builder that you were using for specific builds, and you had to go to the custom field preference section and add those custom fields into the template. When you create a custom field, no question will be asked whether this has to be added in your template or not, in your PDF template, output template or not. You had to manually go into the template builder section, then add it manually, then only it will be getting reflected in your output, right? And the same thing happens in the bill view of the bills as well. I mean, if you're talking about an invoice, we had to go out there and add it. Otherwise, it won't be getting reflected in your bill view. So that update was also bought in. So I created a new custom field called the project status. This is a custom field. So I had to go into the invoice output that I will be choosing to get the bill view and the bill output in branch 2. So I added it. And then I went to record update button, created a new record update button and reloaded the invoice. So it started getting reflected there. So that's the way in which that process worked out. Okay, any other things? If it's not there, then like always, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for attending. I was really excited to speak about the record update button and the way in which the customization was possible under the employees module. And I hope that I served my purpose. So if you're having any further doubts regarding any of the updates or regarding the software, you can always reach out to the support team. And you can always write to us. You can always use our forum to write down questions in them. We'll cater to it. The whole community will be catering to it as quick as possible. So yes, that's it from our side. Thank you very much for considering EalSuite as well. Every day the community grows, every day the audience grows, and I'm really happy to see that as well. So yes, thank you very much, everyone. Take care and bye.